Embarrassing rapper stage moments. Do you want to win any of these items on your screen? If so, be sure to watch the whole video, leave a like, and comment the hidden message. And with that being said, let's get right into the video. These are some of the most embarrassing stage moments ever. Stay tuned because you're not going to want to miss out on a single entry. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to King Trending. Number 9. Method Man's stage dive. Have you ever seen the movie School of Rock? Okay, do you remember the part in the beginning of the movie where Jack Black's character tries to do a stage dive and no one is there to catch him? Well, you think that this would only happen in the movies, but when it comes to the world of music, nothing is out of the realm of possibilities. During his time in the Wu-Tang Clan, Method Man was doing a show in London. He was really feeling what the crowd was giving him in terms of energy, so he felt like the only logical thing to do was to go and do a stage dive. Oh, but he didn't just do one. He actually climbed to the top of a speaker on stage and then jumped off into the crowd. Not realizing until it was far too late that he was going to hit nothing but the floor. And he did, and no doubt that it hurt. And I bet he didn't do that again for obvious reasons. The real reason that this is embarrassing isn't the fact that he landed freaking hard on the crowd, it's because he couldn't tell that the crowd wasn't picking up what he was throwing down. Mainly because it was the rock generation that started the stage diving, not the rappers. So in this instance, he really doesn't have anyone to blame but himself for this moment. He just should have known better. Number 8. Nicki Minaj battling Mariah Carey.
And our superstars were super passionate from the get-go.
What is going on with you, Miss Minaj?
Okay, this wasn't an on-stage moment, but rather one that happened on the world stage, at least in regards to music television. Yes, I'm talking about American Idol. American Idol is arguably one of the most important and fan-beloved shows out there on television. Yes, even with the reboot, it was a show that came out of nowhere and charmed the world for many seasons before being canceled, and recently reborn to great success via new judges and a year's worth of talent waiting for their shot at musical fame. But as anyone who's watched the show knows, one of the main reasons for the show being so beloved is that there are talented judges guiding the way, not the least of which was because of their clashes with each other over their talent or various spars that they got into for various reasons. They were perceived feuds between many of them, including an actual fake feud between Simon Cowell and Paula Abdul, but they openly admitted that while they butt heads, they do like each other, and show that on the show at times. However, in season 12, a real one happened, and it wasn't anything but butting of heads. Going through another judging change, the show, which was on the decline at one point, decided to try and bring in some more big names to help out the ratings. This included Mariah Carey and Nicki Minaj, two singers who couldn't be further apart in terms of style and personality, yet both had fame, both major fan bases, and were both major success stories in their own ways, while totally being different, of course. In short, they brought a variety to the show, but in this case, that didn't work out well for anyone, and mainly it was because of Nicki Minaj. They just couldn't get along with one another, because through the 12th season, the two argued on and off camera. They argued about contestants, what the other had said about the talent, and so much more. Minaj even walked off set at times because she couldn't handle Carey, and that was just during the auditions phase. They had a long way to go before the season was over. Sadly, the outbursts were just starting for Minaj. The reason that this is embarrassing is that while the show is grounded by the host and judges, they aren't supposed to be the main event as it were, and the singing is supposed to be the main entree. And so imagine how the contestants felt. Mariah and Minaj battle each other out over the smallest of things. It wasn't pretty. And of course, it was pretty embarrassing that Minaj couldn't control herself. Sure enough, by the time the whole season was said and done, both Minaj and Carey left the show and did so with their feud still intact. I highly doubt they'll ever want to work together anymore after this. Wouldn't you agree? Oh, and it should be noted that none other than Katy Perry is one of the main judges on the new American Idol. Take that as you will. Number 7. Kanye's perfect set. Oh boy, Kanye West, you almost don't know what to expect from him when he performs, or tweets, or does an interview, and honestly, you just never know what to expect from him, period. And because of his bipolar disorder, he's had some very big blow-ups on stage before. He's actually yelled at fans for no reason, or because he feels that they disrupted his flow. Right. Anyway, during one of the shows, he did honestly have a good reason for blowing up at the fans. Apparently, someone in the crowd threw money at him, but not like cash money, but coins, which can hurt when thrown properly. And so, after getting hit a few times, Kanye stopped mid-song and lost it. But it was what he said that made it really embarrassing, because he said that the fans ruined his perfect set, and that he was doing everything perfectly until they messed with his flow, and so his show was ruined, and on and on and on and on. Kanye has always had a deluded sense of self-importance, and this just proves it. And while I'm sure the set was indeed going well, I don't think it was perfect. I don't think that's the best way to describe it, especially when Kanye is involved. Number 6. Need a hand? Something that sometimes gets lost in the world of professional music is that the schedule that you keep can be pretty demanding. And like many workaholics, some rappers can ignore good advice in order to keep performing because they feel that they have an obligation that is more important than their own health. Drake learned that the hard way. It's not a good idea to ignore your doctor's orders. You see, he was suffering from an ACL tear in one of his knees, which is a big injury, as many professional athletes will tell you, of course. Anyway, despite having this, he was able to walk, so he figured he would be fine in regards to going to New Jersey and performing a concert with fellow rapper Lil Wayne. Well, his doctor gave Drake two pieces of advice. One, keep pressure off your weak knee. And two, don't jump onto said weak knee. Want to guess to how many of those he listened to? Yeah, exactly. Drake took a chance while performing on stage with Lil Wayne and damaged his leg pretty bad, to the extent that he actually couldn't get up and literally had to be carried off stage by 4 guys. Now, obviously, Drake's fine. He's back up and walking and continuing his music career, but still he had to be carried off the stage, all the while the concert had somehow gone on without him. And you can bet the mood of the crowd got very anxious when Drake had to be carried out. Not the ideal scenario in regards to getting the crowd excited. Number 5, melting Biggie's temper. There are many factors that can lead up to a bad concert. Performance just not clicking, the fans not behaving, the stage not being set up like it should be, and etc. But one thing that people forget is that nature plays a big hand in getting results, especially in an outside venue. Back in 1995, rap legend Biggie Smalls, aka Notorious Big, had to do a gig with DJ Big Cap in San Francisco. No big deal, right? Except this particular gig was outside, and the temperature that day was scorching hot. I'm not talking about 80s or 90s, I'm talking hotter than that. Because of the heat, DJ Big Cap was having serious trouble with the records as their set went on. I'm throwing the records and it's like, all right, cool, we're going through it. But it's so hot, the heat is actually warping the records. The records is melting. Yeah, melting records would be bad. But that's not the embarrassing part. Because the records were melting, it was warping the sound. And Biggie couldn't tell that the heat was doing this to the records. So he just felt that DJ Big Cap was messing up. And so being fed up after a while, he stopped singing and threw a water bottle at DJ and stormed off the stage. I'm pretty sure he was explaining the situation later on, but for that moment, yeah, that was one heck of a snap on stage. Number 4, Kanye again.
May end up being the most tragic loss of all.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Seriously, how does Kanye still have a career after all the crap he's done? Like the Nicki Minaj one before, this is a world stage kind of embarrassment. This happened back when Hurricane Katrina came to the US and loads of people were trying to raise money for the victims. NBC did this in a very classy way, holding a telethon to get people at home to help those in the southern United States, and brought many celebrities on board to help with this. One duo during the telethon was comedian Mike Myers of Austin Power and Shrek fame, and Kanye West. Now, during these segments, the celebrities are supposed to read a script to help get the pledges coming. But did Kanye do that? Nope. Instead, he decided to shout out, George Bush doesn't care about black people. Yep, he really said that. Needless to say, the camera and the production team were sure to cut him off right there and to go back to the host of the show so that this didn't become the focus of the telethon and the money could continue to be raised. So how arrogant is Kanye West? Am I right? He would put down his own political agenda and feelings above all those who needed support during that time. Former President Bush wasn't a part of the telethon or this charity money raising event. So why even bring him up? Simply because it's Kanye. He just doesn't care or doesn't understand what he's doing is very, very wrong. Number 3, catch Beyonce. You might think that some of the best performers in the world are exempt from things like falling off stage. After all, if you do a bunch of concerts, performances and such, you would be used to how a stage would go and how your body would react, right? But as in all things, all it takes is one misstep and you'll go flying. And Beyonce found that the hard way in 2007. You see, she was doing a performance down in Florida as per her usual gig, as she puts a lot of energy and passion into her songs. So while Beyonce was singing one song, she decided to go and run down the staircase that was near her on stage, and no doubt that she practiced this before and just did fine, but this time she actually slipped and hit the ground cross-body style. Oh yeah, Beyonce went splat. That being said, being the epic professional that she is, Beyonce got up and started to sing again and got through the entire song and concert without fear of any further incidents. So you can bet she was pretty sore in the morning, and she wasn't gonna do another big running down the stairs bit anytime soon. Though it should be said that not long after, she did do the Super Bowl halftime show and killed it, so that worked out. Number 2, the worst kind of Bieber Fever. As we've noted many times on King Trending, you either love Justin Bieber or you hate Justin Bieber. But for his legions of fans across the world, if he appears on stage, he's going to be the object that they adore the most in the world. Nothing wrong with that, I suppose, but you have to wonder just how much they love their idol when he's throwing up on stage. Yeah, Bieber sadly has a history of being sick during concerts, and one time in Glendale, Arizona, he couldn't help but throw up on stage during a song. Thankfully, he had the wherewithal to turn his back to the audience when this all happened the first time, then got off stage before doing it again, but seriously embarrassing. It's unclear why he was sick that day. It might have been natural, it might have been something he ate, or it could have been his hard partying nature that got the best of him. Either way, the result is the same. He blew chunks. But in a nice showing of support to his fans for enduring this, he not only finished the concert, but he treated them to some extra songs to make up for what he did. Very nice, Mr. Bieber. Number 1. Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson at the Super Bowl. Okay, this one technically is not rap, but it's close. Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson were the ones tasked with doing the Super Bowl halftime show together. For those who watch the NFL, this is a huge honor, as it used to be just about marching bands up until the higher-ups decided that they needed to do more. So they brought in Janet's brother, the late Michael Jackson, to wow the crowd, which set the stage for all of the performances to come. Fast forward a couple decades, and you get Justin and Janet on the stage performing together. And musically, it was great. They had some great chemistry, the crowd was loving it, on and on and on. Until the final beat, when for some reason Justin reached across from Janet and accidentally ripped off a part of her top, exposing her chest, if you get my drift. The act was sudden, and the camera people were smart to go to black before everyone who had been watching had continued watching this. Needless to say, the Super Bowl had a bit of a scandal on its hands, and all sides were pointing fingers as to what happened, what Justin Timberlake did or didn't do, Janet's involvement in the event, and so on. By the end of it, fines were handed out to the Super Bowl, and more strict regulations were put on the halftime show in regards to outfits and the like. Ironically though, despite this part in the controversy, Justin Timberlake did come back and do a solo performance during a recent Super Bowl. Janet Jackson, however, has not returned. Coincidence? I'll let you be the judge of that. Needless to say, this is one Super Bowl and a memory that will soon not be forgotten, no matter how hard people try to on each side. And so there you have it, everyone. Some of the most embarrassing rapper moments ever to be put on stage. So can you believe some of these blunders, outbursts, or mistakes? And of course, which one is the most cringeworthy for you? And also, which one is the most understandable? Let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time on King Trending. A simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's really your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. Go for it.